Dog culture critics and the abolitionist movement. Does any of this sound familiar when you critique dog culture? Violence, resentment, disapproval, discrimination, controversial political issue that divided the United States? When you talk about dogs, do you get discriminated against? Do you get a bunch of disapproval? Do you get resentment? Do you get violence? Yes. What are some other things? The abolitionist movement, they had banned publications, they had racist backlash, conflicting goals. Some people that critique dog culture, they just want to talk about certain stuff, right? Conflicting goals within the dog culture critiquing. That happened within the abolitionist movement. How about conflicting views on politics? Did you ever notice that some dog culture critics, they just want to talk about the negative externalities that they want to talk about, and they don't want to talk about politics at all? And they even tell other people to not talk about politics. And they even tell other people to unsubscribe from other dog culture critic channels if they talk about politics. So those type of things happened within the abolitionist movement. So let's look at this one. So this is the San Antonio man that was killed, Air Force veteran. But I got this in the center of the screen right here. Um, the city was called many, many times about this dangerous dog. So what do you think would have happened if this was during the times of slavery and someone would have said, hey, a slave owner is treating a slave bad? They wouldn't have done anything about it. Well, today with the dog culture, it's the same thing. People call and call and call about these dangerous dogs, this one I'm showing you right here, and the cities and the governments, they don't do anything about it. They wait until somebody dies. So it's like these people are slaves to dogs. They spend all their life dealing with dogs, feeding dogs, housing dogs, and then they get killed by dogs. Notice part of the abolitionist movement was banned publications. So this reminds me of YouTube channels that critique dog culture that get shadow banned. Or other signage, like say you put up a sign that says, no dogs here, please, on your business or on your house. People will report you, they'll pull the signs down, or they'll go out of the way to break whatever rule that the sign is proposing that dog owners follow. How about the lynch mobs right here? This sounds like when a police officer defends himself or another officer, or even another dog against an attacking dog. The lynch mobs of the Facebook people, of all of the city people carrying signs calling for the officer to be removed from his job and thrown in prison for animal abuse. Dog owners will quickly form a social media lynch mob if you're not pulling the tow line for dogs the way that they are. Then, of course, we have the fact that they use dogs against the slaves. They use dogs to keep them in line. If you ran away, if you didn't do your job right, they kept these dogs around to keep them in fear, to keep them from going too far. Plenty of good articles about this. The slave hounds, the canine terror. So that's what's happening also in our current dog culture. They use dogs to keep people down. You're broke, you got too much expenditure, you got veterinarian suicide. It's just keeping you down. People claim that they're broke because of their dog. They claim that they can't go do stuff because of their dog. And when they do take their dogs places, like on buses and airplanes, there's always a problem. Like airplanes having to turn around mid-flight because the dog pukes or barfs all over the airplane. So it seems to me that the dog culture critics right now, this is like an early edition of the abolitionist movement. We don't want our society to be enslaved to dogs. And if we speak out about it, we end up actually fighting with each other like the abolitionists did. And we end up basically getting lynch mobbed by the society of dog worshippers.